Welcome back. This week is National Burn Awareness Week and an opportunity to really focus on fire and burn-related injuries and the burn and reconstructive centers that can treat them here in Colorado. We've got two people here joining me today to talk about both a local center and a patient who has experienced what this is like firsthand. So first of all, let me introduce my two guests. We've got Dr. Benson Pulikodl, Medical Director at HCA Health One Swedish Burn and Reconstructive Center, and a former patient, Nick Pax. Guys, thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Doctor, let's talk first about burn centers, and I want to get to your story, Nick, as well, because I think it's really helpful to explain to people kind of what this process looks like. But burn centers, there's not a lot of them in the state. You guys are one of them.
Yes.
But help people understand what elevates an injury to a burn center versus, I think, of a traditional ER treatment of a burn or an injury. What
Sure.
takes it up to the next notch?
There's several resources. I mean, the surgeons are all double board certified in plastic, reconstructive surgery, burn surgery, all of the elements of a traumatic injury. And Nick is a perfect example of somebody who has had those resources help him. Not only surgery, you have nursing, psychiatric help, nutrition help, therapy help. You have all of these different elements that not only physically heal a patient, but spiritually heal a patient too, because that's part of the battle. And so I think that there's only a few verified centers. We're one of them, and that's a stamp of approval that shows that you've done your due diligence. But yeah, anyone can do burn surgery, but taking care of a patient with the burn injury and knowing the future issues that they'll have and taking care of their family, that takes a burn center.
Let's talk about your story, Nick. You almost lost a hand, but
I
you
did.
didn't, to be clear, and you can
Yep.
tell your story of that. So give us a quick background on your injury.
So I'm a firefighter paramedic full time, and then I also have a side thing that I do where I sell firewood. And I was just out there working on that and got caught in a conveyor belt and ended up getting out of it. And then I was transported to Skyridge Hospital, and then I was actually flown to Swedish Hospital for Dr. Pulikodl and his team to kind of patch me back together and take care of me for the rest of the time. So
So it's your left hand,
Yep.
right? And all the way up to looks like about mid-arm?
Yep. So there's a lot
They
of
had a
scars
lot of work
going
they had
on.
to do.
Yeah, all my tendons were gone.
You
So we
look great, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
But your treatment was extensive, it sounds like.
Extensive,
How
yes.
long were you in the hospital?
Several different times. I think my longest hospital stay was about 8 days. But through several different surgeries, the reconstruction process is not just all done at once. There's several different things that have to go into that. So, I mean, total I couldn't tell you, but several weeks.
A lot more time than you wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
And kind of talk about, again, when we talk about specific treatment of a burn
Sure.
center, this isn't just stitches. He says patching them back together.
Yeah.
It's a lot more involved.
Exactly. So that's why being a plastic surgeon and a hand surgeon helps. So we took care of the burn injury, saved the trauma team and the ICU team, saved his life, and he was sent for a hand amputation. But when I saw him, his tendons were gone, his bones were exposed. We did a lot of creative reconstructive things, like we took tendons from his legs and we reconstructed all of his tendons with that. We kind of wired the nerves and rewired the elements of that hand to make it functional again. And it's not about having a perfect looking hand. We want a functional hand. And that's what he has. He's gotten back. This is like my brother from another. He's a true G for having gone through like 20 surgeries, fat grafting. We sewed his arm to his chest for 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
We did all of these.
Isn't the human body
It's
incredible?
amazing.
It
It's
is.
amazing. And every day, I do these things, and it just, these patients come and go. But when you get to actually look at it and you make this kind of connection, this is why I do it.
Are you still able to be working in your paramedic role?
Yep.
So
Yep.
you're back to work, and you're also in a very dangerous line of work anywhere where you see burns
Yeah.
as a first responder, not so much as a patient. That's got to be just kind of wild for you, having lived through a version of this yourself.
Yeah, it's, I've been doing it for quite a while, so it's just another day for me. But yeah, I was lucky to where I ended up with Dr. Pulikodl and his team there at Swedish to get me back together. And like he was saying, it was a long road, lots of different surgeries and tendons from everywhere. And
Does being a patient give you a different perspective as being a first responder?
definitely gives you a different perspective. I'd make the nurses mad when I was admitted to the hospital because I'd go get my own water, or I'd be strolling around the halls in the middle of the night and they'd say, "You're not supposed to be doing this." And
That's good,
so-
good though that you were encouraged to like get up and get moving, right?
That's why his function is so good, because he's a determined, ambitious, driven kind of guy.
let's leave our viewers with some news you can use here, okay? So obviously the work you're doing, that is inherently risky work, and you can't, that's just, some jobs are like that. But maybe for the everyday person or someone who may find themselves, you have been burned or someone in your home has been burned, can you give us some just like practical advice, whether it's the urgency in which you need to respond or just everyday, like common preventative tactics?
Yeah, I mean, just with cooking, keep things off the front
Yeah.
of the stove. Kids can grab
Little
the handles,
kids.
put them back. Watch electric cords around kids. Kids chew on these things. Burns are weird entities. I mean, I think that if you have a burn, get into our clinic. We run a walk-in hour clinic. We can come in at any time, 8 to noon, and just get evaluated. It's better to be safe than sorry. And so I think that just some general preventative measures are okay. Cool water, things like that if you get a burn. But just come in, get looked at. We're happy to see you and take care of you. And you'll get that sense of relief. When you're doing things out in the field, just be careful. Goggles, avoid intoxicating agents. Tell somebody you're out there. Avoid accelerants and fires, things like that. And just using common sense. But a lot of our patients, they are smart. It's an unfortunate
Humans have
couple
accidents,
seconds that happen
right?
that changes their life forever.
Okay.
And we're there for them during that time.
Well, guys, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Congrats
Thanks
on
for
all of your
having us.
recovery and your ongoing work. And it's just good to kind of give an idea of what you have to go up against here if you have an injury at this level. So thank you.
Thank you.
And hopefully we leave folks a little news they can use.
Thanks so much.